Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to JDB Selects, coming at you again today with, guess what, another predicted teams list video for round 1, this time the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And just before we get into the video, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been sending in the feedback on the last couple of teams list videos. I really do appreciate all the kind words, and I also really enjoy seeing your predicted teams list in the comments. So if you do want to have your say in the comments, go on, leave a comment down below, leave a like on the video, and hit subscribe if you are new here. Alright, you should know by now, but we always look back on the year just been before we look forward to 2024. So for the Bunnies, it was a year to forget in 2023. They became the first side in the NRL era to lead the competition after round 11 and miss finals, which is a pretty extraordinary stat, and not the kind of stat you want to be a part of. Another disappointing stat that the Rabbitohs have their name attached to from last season is they had the second worst completion rate in the league. They also ranked 13th for incomplete sets coming out of their own half, which was the story of their season. Really just an absolute mess and really tough watching at times. They ended up 9th on the ladder, and they had a chance to make the finals in their last game of the season against the Roosters. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done there, and that task was made even harder with Latrell out through suspension. They finished with a 50% win rate and a positive points difference of 59. Again, a very disappointing season for the Bunnies, especially when you consider where they were at the start of the season, as well as how they've performed over the past few years. Looking forward now to the 2024 season, in terms of gains, Keppie comes on board from the Manly Sea Eagles, and the big one that I know that everyone's excited for is Wighton comes across from the Canberra Raiders. Obviously, him and Latrell have a very close friendship, so I am looking forward to seeing them both on the park at the same time. I think that certain level of player chemistry on and off the field is really important, so I have no doubt that both of them will enjoy this season for different reasons, and I think it will also bring the best out of both of them. And in terms of losses, Jed Cartwright has moved on to the Newcastle Knights. Liam Knight has moved on to the Bulldogs, which I believe happened at the end of last season. Mamouzelos is off to the Dragons, and Blake Taff is also moving on to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. I think especially compared to other clubs, there aren't that many changes going on at the Rabbitohs this season. Obviously, they had a bit of a fallout with their coaching staff at the end of last year, and a very minimal player gains, at least up until this point. So it will be a fairly similar side to last year. So they'll be hoping that they can turn around what was a horror season in 2023. Alright, let's get stuck into it. Kicking off at number 1 at fullback, obviously Latrell Mitchell. As I did just touch on before, his hot-headedness got him in trouble in the final round of the season, missing the do-or-die clash against the Roosters, and could have easily cost his side a place in the top 8. Latrell did only play 16 games last season, as he was dealing with a hamstring injury that also kept him out of Origin. But in those 16 games, he scored 9 tries, set up 12 others with 94 tackle breaks, and an average of 127 running meters. Latrell's one of those players, right? You love him or hate him. Personally, I am a massive Latrell Mitchell fan, but I also do believe that he can take it to another level. We've seen it in the past just how devastating he can be. At times he does seem to look a bit laboured or a bit lazy. I don't know whether that's just a mental thing. I know he had a lot going on last season with legal battles and injuries and things like that. So I'm hoping that in 2024 we get a fit, healthy and happy Latrell Mitt. Because again, when he's on, he is arguably one of the most exciting players in the game. In at wing, no surprises there, Alex Johnston. I mean, the dude is an absolute try-scoring machine. 21 tries in 23 games last season. There is no better finisher than Alex Johnston, plain and simple. His combination with Latrell and Cody down that left edge is just seamless. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing easy about it. He makes it look easy. Alex Johnston on the wing, of course. Now moving to the centres, where I think this might be a hotly contested area this season. At number 3, I have gone Isaiah Tass. He played 23 games last season with 9 tries, 9 try assists, 52 tackle breaks, and 124 meters per game. So with Wighton coming across from the Raiders, there will need to be some changes to the Rabbitohs backline in 2024. Wighton obviously played 5/8 at the Raiders, but with Walker in that position, there's no chance of him playing 6 unless Walker gets injured. So I do see Wighton playing in the centres, which we will get to in just a sec. But in terms of Tass, solid centre, and he should keep his jersey come round 1. And on the other side of the field, I have gone Jack Wighton in at 4. Obviously, Campbell Graham had that spot locked down last season and was absolutely electric in that position, having a career best year. But I do think that Jackie Boy Wighton should take that spot in round 1. 22 games for the Raiders last year with 7 tries, 6 try assists, and averaging 101 meters per game. But this is really, really tough. I flipped and flopped on whether I would take Campbell Graham out of his position that he played so well in last year. But I do think that Wighton is a very destructive runner of the ball. He obviously hasn't played centre for a while, but he's one of those supreme athletes that can easily slot back into his old position. And obviously, which we'll touch on in just a minute, I think Campbell Graham can still have a big impact in the side. So that is why I have got Campbell Graham in on the wing at number 5. Man, what a year for Campbell Graham in 2023. 16 tries in 21 games. Averaging 133 meters per game with 66 tackle breaks and 5 try assists. The dude was on another level down that right edge for the Rabbitohs, just cutting through defense like it was butter. He played so well that he even managed to get his maiden call-up to the New South Wales Blues side, only to be robbed by a lingering injury that kept him out of making his State of Origin debut. No doubt one of the Rabbitohs' best players in 2023, and I do think he can still have an impact in the starting side out on the wing. Alright, moving into the halves. In at 6, of course, Cody Walker. I mean, the veteran Cody Walker was at his absolute best last season. 24 try assists in 22 games, 9 tries of his own, with 32 line break assists and 11 forced dropouts. Walker was easily one of the most impressive players in the Rabbitohs last season. So much so that he was called back into the New South Wales Blues side and even was awarded player of the match in that game, game 3. Last year again he led the club in try assists for the 7th consecutive year, which is an extremely impressive stat considering he did play alongside Adam Reynolds during that time. He is obviously like Latrell and can get quite heated and lose his focus if things don't quite go his way, but man, when he's on, he is still one of the best 5/8s in the game. And in at number 7, I've gone Lachlan Ilias. Now, Ilias obviously came in with a chip on his shoulder, having to replace Adam Reynolds. Obviously, he's been there for a couple seasons now, and unfortunately, it doesn't still feel like he's quite where he needs to be. He definitely lacks that long kicking game and that cool, calm head to kick to a corner and play field position when the time is right. Last season, 4 tries in 24 games, just the 10 try assists and 11 line break assists. The inability for the Rabbitohs to close out game and play smart football doesn't solely rest on the shoulders of Ilias, but he does need to have a bigger impact on games in 2024 because without a strong, long kicking game, the Bunnies are in trouble. Moving now to the forward pack, starting at prop, Tevita to Tola. Again, only played 15 games last season and was out with injuries and personal issues. Unfortunately for him, was left on the duck egg in 2023, no tries, but 11 average hit-ups per game for 126 meters. Really solid player, and hopefully he can get a full crack in 2024. In at number 9, the beach sprinter himself, Damien Cook, in at hooker. He played 23 games last season for the Bunnies with 3 tries, 8 try assists, and 8 line break assists. He is so dangerous around the ruck. If he gets a fast play the ball and can shoot off left and right, he is very, very hard to stop. Obviously, being a beach sprinter, he is pretty quick off the mark and has great short balls and really good game presence. So another player that's very, very important to the Rabbitohs' success in 2024. And the other starting prop, I've gone Tom Burgess, who will be starting his 11th consecutive season with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Last year, again, missed a handful of games, only playing 16. Got off the nudie run though with 1 try, 38 tackle breaks, averaging 138 meters per game through 12.3 hit-ups. A real veteran in the game now and an important part to South Sydney's success with his aggressive and intimidating style of play. Moving now to the second row, starting at 11, I've gone Keaon Koloamatangi. He'll be entering his 5th season with the Rabbitohs. Another very fast, dynamic and strong back rower. 18 games last season for 5 tries, 6 line break assists, and an average of 126 meters, who is really hard to stop with a full head of steam and seems to only be getting better as time goes on. And on the other edge, I have gone Jai Arrow. Now this is also probably a hotly contested position this year. You do have the likes of Jacob Host, who played in this position for a majority of last season. Personally, I have gone Arrow, who missed a good chunk of last season through injury, only playing the 14 games. Again, personally, I do think it's really tough to say who takes this number 12 jersey. Obviously, Arrow could play off the interchange and have a bigger role off the bench, playing in multiple positions. But personally, I've gone Arrow to start at number 12 in round 1. And last but definitely not least, the captain himself, Cam Murray, the best rig in the NRL, in it lock. Murray is just captain fantastic, you know. He's got the looks, he's got the strength, he's got the footy smarts. He is the ultimate footballer. 21 games for the Bunnies last season for 4 tries, 95.2% tackle efficiency with an average of 129 running meters. He was outstanding for Australia in the international fixtures as well, one of their best players throughout the series. Really, really reliable player. You know what you're going to get from Cam Murray week in and week out. He obviously does have a wee bit of concussion history which can keep him out, but touch wood, he won't have any of those issues in 2024 and can be there and help guide this Rabbitohs side back into the finals. Alright, and bang, and just like that, we're done for another video. Again, I really do appreciate all the comments. So if you do want to share your predicted teams list in the comments below, do so now. Leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.